Hi, welcome to Woodworking with Wes. Today, part 5 of our bookcase. Today we're going to just do the bead board back, but I wanted to show you something. This little tool here is called a magic molder. Now, I bought this retail years and years ago, but we looked it up and you can purchase it online, not from Amazon, but if you Google it, it does take you to their website. But a magic molder is a wheel that fits on your table saw with interchangeable molding heads, and you can change it out. Now today we're just going to do a bead bit, but I have 2 or 3 of these different heads that I can change over. I can do a fluted column, I can do a square cut for like a small rabbit, and there are just lots of different little heads that you can get for a molding for this magic molder. It's really kind of a cool tool to have. We're going to go ahead and set it up on our table saw. You need to change the throat out to your dado throat. And then we're going to do, you can buy beadboard, you can buy ready-made beadboard, but we're doing it on cherry, and I don't think you can buy cherry. You can buy it in a paint grade. We're also, when you go to buy it, you can get it only in standard increments of the space between the beads. We're going to go a little wider than that. That's one of the advantages of having a molding head like this, a magic molder, is it allows you the opportunity to do different things on different woods for a more decorative end result. But let's get set up, put it on our table saw, and get started. Okay, we've got our molding head installed. I just want you to know that I unplugged the saw so that we didn't have any power to it while I was changing out the blade and putting the molding head on for safety. Always do that when you change a blade. Make sure that you don't have power to your tool so that you're completely safe. We're getting ready to set it up now. We're going to get all ready to go. We're going to test a little of depth. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to lay out our beadboard. But we'll come back when we lay out our beadboard. We've got our magic molder set up, and this is our bead that we're going to be cutting into the back of our bookcase. You can see I did it on a piece of melamine so you can see real quick. It cuts a nice round bead and just a little bit of a half bead on either side. If you were to make, if you were going to go beads right next to one another, this would be able to duplicate really close. We're going to space out a little bit, and what we've done on our back is we have found the center, and we've marked the center, and we're going to make our first cut down the center, and then we're going to do 3.5 inch spacing. And so we're going to set our saw back 3.5 inches, and we'll cut down both sides 3.5 inches more, go again on both sides 3.5 inches more, until we complete the entire back with 3.5 inch spacing for our beads, and it's going to make a really nice back. So let's go ahead and get started doing the center first. Our center, 15 3/16, and we set our fence so that we cut right to the center of our bead. And so you have to measure each one. So we want to be, like I say, 15 3/16. And we set our fence so that our 15 3/16 is right at the bottom of our little cut, which will make it at the top of our bead. And let's just do that again. Okay, we're good. Let's go ahead and cut our first bead and take a look. Now, I wore my grippy gloves, and you push down on your board as you go through your molding. And there's our first bead, just like that. Now, like I say, 3.5 inches back. Let's just mark it here, 1, 2, 3.5. And from our edge is 11 5/8. And so we do the same thing. We come over here, we set our fence at 11 5/8 to the center of our bead, right there, and we do it up both sides. Let's do that and then let's take a look again. You can see what a nice pattern that is beginning to show already. Again, we're going to go another 3.5 inches. Let's go ahead and complete the board and see what it looks like when we're all done. Well, you can see it makes a pretty cool beadboard back for our bookcase. Now, there's one thing I need to tell you. We're at an alternative shop location today using a Powermatic saw. The reason I'm using a Powermatic saw with my molding head, in the other shop that I use most of the time, we have SawStop, and the molding head won't work on the SawStop because the safety feature is too far away from the molding head. And so we were not able to make a SawStop work with our magic molder, and so we came and borrowed this Powermatic table saw to use it. Just keep that in mind. If you want to get a magic molder but you have a SawStop in your location, a SawStop doesn't work. We're all done with our beadboard back now. We're going to head back to our bench so we can sand and get this cleaned up and ready for stain. But that is our back to our bookcase. And we want to have you continue to watch us as we now are complete with all our pieces and we're getting ready to do the staining and finishing on our bookcase, which is our final step. And we want you to join us then on Woodworking with Wes.